The 2016 Mitsubishi Lancer. It is nearly 10 years old, and yet it is still kind of competitive. I'm Jay, and welcome to the latest episode of CarBuzz Unboxing Reviews. Before I get started, I also want to thank Lutz Kia Mitsubishi for letting me come on down and film today. So, the Mitsubishi Lancer, as I said, this car literally, it goes back 10 years. It was new for the 2007 model year, and it's still around. Why is that? Well, it's because Mitsubishi has been having some financial problems, and it just can't afford to do an all-out replacement for the Lancer. There was talk of Mitsubishi speaking to Nissan about doing some cross-platform collaboration of some sort, but that has yet to materialize. So the car you see here, it has been facelifted a few times, most recently just about a year or so ago, and I have to say Mitsubishi has done a really good job of doing what they can with, again, a car that's a decade old. And I was also personally curious to check this car out because I used to own a Lancer several years ago, so I want to see what improvements they made to it. And my ownership experience with the Lancer was pretty good. Now, the overall exterior design, it's relatively the same. The wheels have been updated. These are new 16-inch designs. But the overall dimensions, nothing is different. There's a new front end. It's a little less aggressive before. It has LED daytime running lights. I do like the little chrome strip going on around there. And there's also standard fog lights too. Now, some will appreciate this sort of old school look going on here, and I can totally see that. It does remind me of a car that I really loved, but it's gone. It's not coming back. The Mitsubishi Evo, the all-wheel drive high-performance version of the Lancer. And the Evo competed against the Subaru WRX STI. It was a real all-wheel drive performance machine. This car is not. But what's interesting is that Mitsubishi is still selling these, and after spending some time with this car, I think I figured out why, and it's because it is still excellent value. This is a Japanese-built compact sedan, and you're going to get a certain amount of quality that goes along with it. My personal experience with the Lancer, it had very few to any reliability issues, and I expect the same thing is still going to be with today's Lancer. Now, one of the things that you should be aware of is, well, whenever there's a new car, there's going to be a lot of regular updates, including what's under the hood here. And again, this is where the Lancer still falls behind. Reason being, this engine, it's a 2.4 liter inline four. It's got 168 horsepower, 167 pound-feet of torque. But the base engine is a 2 liter inline four with only 148 horsepower. And although that base engine, it does come standard with a 5-speed manual, I wouldn't bother. Reason being, it's simply not powerful enough to power this car. It's slow to accelerate. Now, power is sent to the front wheels in this car through a continuously variable transmission. Mitsubishi claims it's brand new, and it helps to reduce road noise. But what I also like about the Lancer is that this one does come with all-wheel drive. And the engine sound, it's a standard inline four, but the all-wheel drive feature is what's interesting. Mitsubishi calls it all-wheel control, and it's the same electronically variable all-wheel drive that's also used in the Outlander Sport compact crossover. You just press a button and the all-wheel drive is engaged. It's nice to have. So let's talk about this interior here, because as you can see, it it is also out of date, but it has a lot of good things going for it. Just look at the door handles right there. They're covered in chrome. Now, even some more compact sedans, they're just simple plastic. But upon closer inspection, you're going to realize something about the rest of the plastic inside this car, especially all throughout the center console, you name it. They're hard plastics. They're not the soft touch materials we've come used to seeing in just about any new car today. And overall interior space is also not bad. What I like about the rear seat is that the car has a decent overall height, so it gives a good amount of head and shoulder room. So the center console dash design here, it's nice. It looks okay, old, but it's still straightforward enough. My complaints, again, cheap plastics. And the steering wheel, I was surprised to see, it's identical to my old Lancer. The steering wheel that was in that car, it hasn't changed. But this has. This is the 6.1-inch touchscreen panel that comes standard in all Lancers. It's okay. It's similar to the one I checked out in my recent unboxing review of the Outlander 3-row crossover. And I liked it well enough. Now this car, it has 4 speakers standard. You can get 6 speakers optional on the higher SE and SEL trims. This is the ES trim. It's not the base Lancer, it's one step up. And Mitsubishi did add more modern features such as Bluetooth and steering wheel mounted cruise control, so you're not getting a totally out-of-date car, just partially out of date. And you can see just by the way the climate control knobs there, the way they turn, it's older. And there's the button. You want to activate all-wheel drive? That's it. That's simple. Alright, so let's talk safety here, because this is something the Lancer actually does very well. It has 7 airbags standard, including a driver's knee airbag, and the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety gave it a good rating in the frontal offset, side impact, and rear impact tests. What's also impressive is that the Lancer earned an acceptable in the really difficult small overlap front crash test. In that test, it simulates an impact on a car's front corner into, say, another car, or a tree, or a pole. And it's really the most difficult of the Institute's tests to pass. And getting an acceptable for a car this old is impressive. But you also get a rear view camera standard, 4-wheel disc brakes, anti-lock brakes, stability and traction control. And how does it drive? It's kind of sporty. It's more sporty than other compacts like the Toyota Corolla, but it's not anywhere near the Mazda 3. Another complaint I had is there's a fair amount of wind noise. And the reason being, there's 2 reasons. One, the CVT. I think it's, despite being new, still a bit too noisy, and also there's just not enough sound deadening material, generally speaking. But for those who want something a little sportier, there is the Lancer GT that adds larger brakes, 18-inch wheels, a sportier suspension, a rear spoiler, as well as a sunroof, but that's front-wheel drive only. So let's talk about the competition. Again, just about every compact sedan you're used to seeing, the Hyundai Elantra, Toyota Corolla, Chevrolet Cruze, Ford Focus, Honda Civic, Mazda 3, Kia Forte, you name it. But compared to the base prices specifically of the Elantra, the Corolla, and the Cruze, the Lancer's base price offers the most standard horsepower, a touchscreen display with audio, and a rear view camera, as well as automatic climate control, LED daytime running lights, and the best warranty, a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Better than, specifically, like I said, the Elantra, the Corolla, and the Cruze. So that's commendable. And speaking of pricing, how much does the Lancer cost? The base price is $17,795. This specific Lancer, the ES 2.4 with the all-wheel control, comes to around $21,000. Now, a fully loaded SEL trim, and I'm talking about with every feature possible, including various accessories like wheel bolts, you name it, and that comes with a premium audio system, leather seats. Again, everything all in there, it comes to $29,350. So that's less than obviously 30 grand. And bear in mind, a lot of these new compact sedans like the Honda Civic, the Mazda 3, to get one with any sort of decent features now is going to cost you at least $25,000. Yes, you can get a Toyota Corolla. You should check out my unboxing review of that as well. Also for around $19,000, but this Lancer still offers some more features for the money. And I think that is what's keeping the Lancer going. Mitsubishi claims they're still selling enough of them, and for people who want a reliable Japanese compact sedan, they want something brand new that's not used, the Lancer, it speaks to them. It looks good, yes, dated, but it still does its job admirably. And I want to repeat for the record that Mitsubishi Evo and the Reliant are both dead, not coming back ever. Mitsubishi has made that clear many, many times before. This is the Lancer you can buy. You want something a little sportier? There's the GT. It's not going to go any faster. 0 to 60 performance here, let's say around 7.5 seconds. Mitsubishi hasn't released the latest numbers yet. But I'm out of time for today. Any more questions? Leave them for me in the comment section below, and I'll see you next time.